Welcome back, Light Up Literature. Today we are talking about growth mindset and how to do this in middle school ELA without forced sharing. So, you remember middle school, all the emotions, all the drama, and all the insecurities. Well, double it, maybe triple it, because ADHD people or neurodivergent people have the same situation. They go through the same things, but they're amplified. So, if you got ADHD kiddos or neurodivergent kiddos in your classroom or in your homeschool, you need to be sensitive to certain things. So I've got 4 tips for you, and the blog for a full length is in the description. So let's get started. All right, so when you're dealing with growth mindset, we want to do it without forcing them to share their struggles. Even though it seems pretty simple and innocent, it's putting all your dirty laundry out for people to see. And in middle school, you don't want to do that. So what we're going to really focus on are the 4 different ways. So 1, private reflections first. Always give them give them a minute for a quick write or a checklist or bullet points. And also, if you're going to do the writing portion of that, make sure you have sentence starters so that they're not having to struggle to think what they need to say. It's more like plug and play. They've got the sentence structure and they just drop in the words and the feelings and the emotions. So that's one way. Also, anonymous sharing is really good. So if you want to use Google Forms, just Post-it notes. Now that works good in a classroom. For homeschool, unless you're in a homeschool pod and there's a group of you, that might not work out too well. So the other option is to use reading through personal stories from other people so that the students, your kiddos, can actually see other people struggle, and instead of exposing their own insecurities and their own feelings, you can either have it with a writing or just a discussion, to where you have this discussion about how it felt, how unfair it was, all these things that they're naturally feeling, but they don't have the ability to express it in the way that feels safe. So that is an excellent way to do that. Nonfiction, biographies, awesome way to take care of that. Now, the 4th option that you have is like a choice-based option. So when it comes to the choice-based, they can share with a person, or they can share with a sentence, or they can pass. Now, if this is going to take some community building, so if they're going to pass, that's okay. But you have to make sure at some point they do participate one way or the other, even if it's just a drop box or a little box that everyone folds up notes, like a Post-it note or an index card, and drops it in there, no names. That's an easy way to do it. And it gives them the safety so they can get those emotions out without being exposed. Another thing that's really important when you are picking those biographies, we also need to make sure that we're normalizing failure. So yes, of course, Michael Jordan, he did make it on the first team, but eventually he became like the best, right? But we have to make sure that we're also focusing on when you don't get that round of applause for working hard, because a lot of times you're not going to. And that's scary for the kiddos, but it's also something that they need to know it's normal. Not every time you work hard and you do something really awesome and you power through and you get something done that you really didn't want to do or really just struggled with. We need to normalize the fact that sometimes you got through it and that's awesome, but we have to be proud of ourselves. And that can be very, I don't think it's talked about enough. And it's very powerful for any student who struggles, because they know it takes more work for them than maybe their neighbor or their friend to get something. And so having that normal reaction, and that not everything's going to be amazing, and that's okay, because I'm so amazing at something else that isn't this. And we really need to practice that growth mindset as well for our kiddos. Now, if you want more tips like this, you'll be getting them generalized on Sundays, and then on Tuesdays we'll be talking about reading strategies for the specific focus of the week, and then on Thursdays it'll be writing strategies. So make sure you subscribe, and if you want to go to the full blog, it's and read it for yourself versus hearing me ramble on, go ahead and check the bio. All right, until next time, happy growing.